Welcome everybody. Robert here with another live and on display with WHCC. Joining me today is Chelsea. Thanks for joining us today, Chelsea.
Yeah, of course.
Chelsea is an expert on our online book and album designer. She's got a big brain. And she'll be walking us through, hear me now, she'll be walking us through new features that have recently been added to that designer. So whether you're already familiar with the album designer or whether you're merely designer curious, stick around because we've got tips and tricks going all through the presentation today because tips and tricks are universally loved and adored. We're going to be with you about 20 minutes live. Okay, and so you know the deal. If those of you out there, you have questions, drop them in right now. We'll answer as many as we can as we go along. And while you're down there, hey, why don't you smash that subscribe button? No, just smash it, ding that bell. Follow us on all our social media. You'll keep up on the latest news and events from WHCC, and then you'll be smarter than your friends. And that is everyone's not so secret goal, right? Now, I feel like sometimes people are a little bit intimidated by the idea of the online editor. But it's really very, very easy to do. And you can design an album in a number of minutes. And so what Chelsea's gonna do, she's gonna design an album from start to finish with enough time to stop and highlight these new added features, which is pretty sweet. We're gonna be doing an album today, but the nuts and bolts of designing a book is exactly the same. The album just has some more options. So Chelsea, let's just begin at the beginning. And can you just show us how easy it is just to get in and get started designing an album?
Yeah, of course. So on the WHCC website, you can head to the product page for either the albums or the lay flat books. So we're going to start here with our albums and head to Order Now. And this will take us into Studio Projects. So if you're already using Studio Projects, you could also head right there to get started. And we have a project pre-created here. So that entails uploading your photos, which you can then use in a variety of different products. So over here in our sidebar, we have our albums and lay flat books. So you can go ahead and select your album, and then this is where we'll be able to select our different sizes.
Oh, Chelsea, hold on to your pants. This looks new to me.
It is.
Oh, I feel a graphic coming on. Yeah, I absolutely, oh, there it is. So, listen y'all, now you can order any size and orientation of all of our books and albums. This one is huge. Not just our square, right? You can also do our non-square designs or sizes like 8x10 or the very popular 9x12. And so these are going to be available to you now online. There we go, Connor, thank you. In the online editor, they can be vertical or horizontal, very, very easy to do there. So definitely check those out. So let's go ahead and jump back in. What are you going to be designing for us today?
Today we're going to be working on an 8x10 horizontal album. So once you select your size, you also have the option to select your paper type and the number of spreads you're looking for. And then you click Start Designing and you'll land right into our editor.
Chelsea, I have to stop you again. Wait, hop back to that. Lucas, if you can hop back to the screen. Look at here on the right. Can't you see where my finger is? No, because my finger's attached to my hand. But there, thank you, Chelsea, for doing that. Now, what we have here is another graphic coming. I feel it in my heart. But look right where that cursor is, you saw, you can order all of the cover types now, folks. I'm not even kidding, not at all, including a full custom photo cover. Look, I'm holding something in my hand and I wasn't before. The full custom photo cover is available now. That is your photo, any of your design elements, text, and everything else to completely wrap that album. Isn't that sweet? That's amazing. Of course, all of our other options are available there as well. But Chelsea, how does somebody go about, say, adding a photo cover? Can we do that today?
Yeah, so with our photo cover option, you can select that over here in the sidebar, and there's two different ways you can go about doing your photo cover. One would be if you have a wide landscape image that you want to have wrap around the whole cover, you could drag that in. A more popular option is to design the custom cover like you were showing Robert with text and graphics. So we have one built here that you'll design that and then bring your final file over and drop it right into the editor. One thing to keep in mind when you are designing that custom cover is to use our sizing templates. So over on the website, you can get to those under ordering, sizing templates and downloads. So you can access all of those.
And so when you click through those, they're going to be sized correctly, and you just build what you want to build, drop your text in, whatever you want. Outstanding.
And then drop that right in here, and you're ready to go. The other new cover options that we have available in the editor are related to combo covers, where you can now get all of the surface options that we have. So our photo luster, along with canvas, wood prints, and our different metal cover options
if
as
you want
well.
to cut away real quick, Lucas, so yeah, here. So Connor's got, he's got a wood cover showing here, right? Wood and metal covers, like Chelsea just mentioned, these are really unique. These are really cool. And of course, the material just wraps around to the back. Very unique things to consider. Thanks, Chelsea.
Yeah, of course. And with the cover options for combo covers, you can select your different spine colors or cover materials. And then from there, you also have the option to add debossing. So that can just be our standard text. So you can type in anything that you would like there and select from our font options and the different colors that are available.
You can literally just type in your text.
Yes.
That's all you have to do. That is a beautiful thing. If we can hop back to Connor's camera real quick, just a few examples of there we go, of our different debossing options. You can see the rose gold in the material. There we go, in there. And we have two new fonts as well, one on the right and one on the left here. I'll do this so Connor can swing back. Two new fonts that you can choose from as well. Sweet.
Those will be coming soon to the editor.
That's what I meant by we have two new fonts. They'll be coming soon to the editor. So again, hold on to your pants. Carry on.
Yes, and the other option is our custom debossing. So that is where you're able to submit a custom design, and we will be able to stamp that onto the album for you like we would our other debossing options.
Sweet. So what they do in that is they're going to submit their design to us. We're going to create that die out of copper, and we're going to keep that thing on file, right? So that at that point, it just becomes a normal deboss. You're just going to click that button, say, hey, I've got my custom deboss. So why don't you just drop it in? And you can do the places, folks, center, lower right. You can do the back of the cover. And with your custom deboss, believe it or not, you can actually do in the end leaf. So you could drop it down here, lower center, subtly at the back of the album, which is really sweet.
All right, so I'm going to switch back to that photo cover that we have designed. After you're done with your cover, you can head over to your end leaves, select your options there, as well as your insert board option. And this is also where you have the ability to round the corners on your album if you would like. So selecting this will round the end leaves as well as all of the spreads. So from there, we jump into actually designing our layouts. So to get started here, there's a couple different options. I like to go over to our Manage Spread view over here, which lets you see all of your spreads. You can go and rearrange those once you have some of your content in there. And I like to use this to start mapping out where I want different images, sort of like a storyboard. So go through, you can start selecting your photos down here in the photo strip and dragging those up into the spreads where you would like them to be placed. And from there, you can even start hitting shuffle and getting some different layouts going. And then if you want to make some more adjustments to them, double-clicking will take you back to our standard view here. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and remove that image box because I just want the 3. And you can just start shuffling and getting some different layout options there.
And suppose if that, if you want to move that down, you just grab it and pull it down?
Yeah, exactly. You can just click right into the boxes and start customizing your crops right there. And then we can just keep working through the album. So selecting some more images, dropping them onto our spread. And we also see that we have different layout options over here in the sidebar. So you can use the shuffle button or you can start making selections right from there.
Amazing.
Yeah, so now that we are almost done with our spreads here, we'll finish the last couple out.
It's so fast.
It really is. And all right, there we go.
I noticed while you were kind of clicking through that now, when you hover over the small images in the film strip, it enlarges. I remember that happening.
It does. This is another new feature. So down here in the photo strip, as you start hovering, you can see a larger preview to get a bit more detail. So say you drop this in and realize that you actually wanted to use this image, you can drop that up and replace it. Another new feature down here in the photo strip is this filter option. So if you select this, you now have the ability to filter out the or filter down the unused images. So that will hide all of the images we've already added to our spreads. And you can also filter by the image orientation. So if you trying to find you need a vertical image to fill a spot on a spread, you can see all of those that are left. And from there, you can also start clearing those off if you want to see more of your images
That's
down
outstanding.
in the spread
So
again.
I think, for me, it's like the unused images is big. So when you click that, it's just going to temporarily remove all the ones you've already put up into the album.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
That can be really helpful when you start getting into larger albums or if you have a lot of images that are already used up and you're now having to sort through them all.
Awesome. And I have a question too about, you're talking about how you can change those designs real quickly and swap out images. What if you wanted just to swap the place of those two, the boy and the girl? Could you do that?
Yeah, great question. You can click into here and do the cropping like we mentioned, or you can drag that image over to the other block and it will swap it.
Shut the front door.
And from here, if you would also want to add more, you can just drop that onto the spread and then go through the same process. Say I wanted the one of those two over here. Now you have that switched around as well.
That is so easy. And I see there's a more layouts button, so there are more and more and more options, and it's going to show you what's appropriate to it, right? If you have 3 images up there, it's going to only show you designs with 3 images.
Correct.
Right?
Yep. It'll base the layouts off of the number of photos you have added, and then you can also have the option to jump into settings to get different prefer aspect ratio or not. So in this case, we're just giving all of the options for 3 photos. If you say don't want any of the square crops to show up in there, you can change those settings as well.
Sweet. And I see that it's kind of saving the layouts that you're commonly using, so kind of doing a favorites thing on the top where it says use layouts. That's outstanding.
So if you do another spread that has 3 photos, you can see the layouts you previously used if you want to have some of those matching throughout your album.
That is a beautiful thing. So then we get this thing done. I mean, you're done. So we can get to the review stage, or what happens next?
Yeah. One thing I wanted to show that is also a bit of a new feature is this full screen view. So our album's kind of done. We want to get a bit of a view of kind of flipping through the spreads. You can hide all of that extra UI that's there and just see a big, beautiful view of your album. And once you close out of that, head over to Review. And you'll also just get a summary of the insert boards and the rounded corners here as well.
So it looks like when you make those changes, that's giving you a running total of your cost, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Outstanding. So if you make the change, it's going to automatically update.
Yes.
Love it.
All right. Feeling good about this album. We're going to go ahead and save that to our project. And now if you want to send a proof of this over to your client, you can click on that over in your project, and you have some different action options over here in the sidebar. So share proof will open up a proofing screen, which is an unbranded link that you can send to your client. They can review, give you any feedback, and go through the process there to get ready to place your order.
That's beautiful. Hey, you know, I was thinking, even if you were in it and you did that full screen view to make it wider, you could maybe record your screen maybe, even if you want, and click through, so you could send your client a larger view of that.
Yeah, you could send that along with the link so they could see the view of kind of flipping through it and then get into the more details to give you the final approval.
Nice, and with that full screen, it covers all pricing and everything like that, which is of course what you want to do, and not have any branding on it too, which is a beautiful thing. Sweet, what's next?
The other feature that we wanted to share that is another new option is the ability to duplicate and resize your album. So if you get done with this and your client loves it so much that they want to order some other versions of it for their family and friends, you can go ahead and hit duplicate. And now you can duplicate that the exact same size as your original album, or you have the option to change it to any of the other sizes that are in the same album-like orientation as the other. So if it's a square, you can change it to other square sizes. If it's the horizontal, you can change it to the other horizontal sizes.
So I noticed when you did that, when we looked at it yesterday and you showed that to me, that it's going to give you a little flag. So if you go to 8x10 to 8x12, it's going to magically do it for you. But you'll get that little flag there that says, hey, you know, make sure you double check everything because the ratio is going to be slightly different. It's going to a 2-to-3 ratio there. But the system will do all the rest. Right?
Correct.
So if you went to 8x12, it is literally just going to do it. You just got to go in there and make sure everything fits right, and you can move things around as normal. And literally with a click of one button, you've got a duplicate.
Correct. Yes.
Bonkers.
So it'll give you that little notice, and then when you click duplicate, you'll just go right back into an album with your new size. You'll see here that when you're doing a photo cover, we have different sizing templates for the different sizes. So in that case, you'll need to update your cover if you want to stick to a photo cover, or you can jump over to one of our other cover options. Say for your duplicate or your companion album, you want to use a combo cover. You could go ahead and select that, drop an image in there, and then you could be ready to go. Select any of the material options, and from there you just go through and double check that things are still looking good. See if any of your crops need a little bit of adjustment with the resize, and then once you're ready to go there, you can head over to review again, save that to your project, and now you have your duplicate album.
So correct me if I'm wrong, you can do that duplicate album, and you're going to see there now that it's been added, it's this album copy. You can still customize it. You made it a material cover, or a cameo cover. You go in and make the tweaks that you want to tweak. You can even have, you know, a black background on some of the pages, or half background. All that stuff is really amazing. So you've literally just designed an album while you and I just been here shooting the breeze. One thing I wanted to show you real quick, if we can hop out to Connor's camera. Now this is maybe a little bit more common with you know, with the square albums with weddings. You know, you've got the bride and groom album here, but mom and dad want one, right? They don't want it to be as big or bigger than the bride and groom because they don't want to steal the thunder. To duplicate this thing here, because these are square, you literally click duplicate and order. You do nothing else. Am I right?
Yeah. We'd still recommend that you go and just double check, make
Oh,
sure
sure.
everything's looking good. But yeah, you should be able to just click duplicate, and within a minute, you'll have your companion album.
That is unbelievable. Just a click of a button. And you did it. Chelsea, I want to thank you so much for joining me here today and offering your expertise and zipping through this so easily. And we want to thank you guys for joining us as well. It's always a pleasure to have you here, and we have the greatest time. And there is this question that's been popping in and out back and forth that we do want to answer this for you, because there's a lot of questions about just the studio interface and this designer. What is the cost? What is going to be my investment? So get your pen out so you can write this down. The cost is exactly $0.0. So write that down, put it in your back pocket. Remember, this is all free and just part of being part of our family here at WHCC. And just geniuses like Chelsea are working feverishly to create these things and then to update these things, right? These updates are, for me, massive. The photo cover, I think I was one of the first people who put my name on that request list, and that's gonna change my life. It's gonna change my life. So these things are big, and now the non-square was probably the second most popular request, right? To get those, how do we get those rectangular albums in there? And everything is in there now, folks. Everything. Okay, so definitely go back in there and check them out. Don't be shy about it. Remember that all the books and albums are going to be available in there in the different sizes. We do have some coming soon stuff. You guys know that there are a couple of different types of. Wow, I wish I could have shown you that board just for a second right now, because it said the word SNE on it. But here's what I want to tell you. It's a little sneak peek, so be quiet about it. But there are different kinds of books, right? We got the hardcover books and the softcover books, which open like a magazine. They're a little more complicated, right?
Yep.
It's coming. It's coming soon. So write that down, put it in your pocket next to that $0.0. All right, folks, I want to thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with us today. We're going to repost this so you can refer to it. And there is something before I send you off. I want to send you off actually with a little preview of a new series that we're doing. And it just recently dropped. And it is a new studio makeover series, and this is going to be with NP Design and Photography. Now, Nate and Teresa run a very successful studio, and that all of these sessions are going to be just full of insight and tips that you can apply every day. And just kind of as a bonus, they are both just awesome, beautiful people, and I mean that sincerely. So the 1 and 2 have already dropped. 3 is going to drop tomorrow. There's going to be a total of 8 sessions in this series. Really a great one. Make sure you watch that. And we are going to say, I'm going to say for myself, Robert, and for Chelsea, thanks again for joining me today. And for all of our huge WHCC family, on behalf of all of us, thank you for being with us. We do all this for you, and thanks for spending the time with us. And we are going to send you out with a little preview of that upcoming series. Take care. We're out. Roll it.
What we do makes such a difference, and that's honestly the only reason I do it. I'm not in it for ego or cool imagery or anything like that. I love changing lives and creating things for people that is going to be that, and that's why it has to be a book and wall art and sustainable, real, tangible things.
I think it's going to give our clients a little bit more flexibility in their thought process as far as what they have in their space and how they can utilize these images to best display their favorite pieces of artwork.
Like from the moment you're sitting here meeting us, what do you think we do? I think that's kind of the thing. It fills in the blanks without, you're here for pictures. No, you're here to create wall art, or you're here to create an album. There's purpose to the photography, and that's always been the thing I've preached is I don't want to go out and spend hours creating and hours retouching. It's all about having a sustainable business and therefore a product to sell with it.